Hey, before we start the video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the channel and about the progression that's had over the year, if that's okay. So, with the start of the new year, which is 2025, I just want to say first, Happy New Year to all. I started my channel back in 2022 and started posting in 2023. And in that entire year, I got to 100 subs by December 31st, 2023. And my goal for 2024 was to just get up to 200 subs when I'm only just doubling what I had. Since in a single year I got 100 subs, I thought doubling it doesn't sound like a bad goal at all. And I managed to do that by February 17th, meaning that I beat my year goal in just under 2 months. So my next goal logically would have been 300, and we hit 300 on July 6th. And by the end of the year, we made it to 378 subs, which is almost 4 times my original goal from when I started this year. And it wouldn't have been done if it wasn't for you guys watching and subbing to the channel. And for that, I thank you. To be honest, I feel like I got lazy with the channel, and I'll try my best to be less lazy this year. So my goal for this year, or for 2025, is to try to reach 756 subs, which means, posting a little bit more. So just doubling it again, but, maybe evening it out to an 800 hopefully. So thank you again for watching and subbing, and now let's get to the video. Okay, so you have the TikToker Wolfie KTI, and this guy is actually insane to where I'm legitimately shocked that he didn't get arrested months ago. Like, this guy is the closest thing that we have to a supervillain, or, a menace to society that, actually calls himself a self-proclaimed supervillain. Like, some of the stuff that he's done on camera and posted is insane. Not like, oh my god, that was so cool, insane. Like, oh my god, this guy just escaped a mental hospital. Someone get this guy. Insane. Sub if you want. So the thing that finally got him arrested was that he poisoned food at a Walmart using bug spray. As in, he walked in the store, grabbed a can of bug spray, like just straight off the shelf without paying for it, and just sprayed it on fruits and pre-made chicken. I think it was like a rotisserie chicken. So then he made a second video where it's him, he's coming back and he gets rid of all the food that he directly sprayed. Not the stuff in the general area, meaning that all the food around the stuff he sprayed have a chance that they have chemicals on them, just the stuff that he directly sprayed. He also sprayed the stuff that the food lay on top of, meaning that that plastic mat kind of thing, he also sprayed it on that thing. So new food that gets placed on that will also have, chemicals on them. And he didn't even pay for the food that he wasted. He just grabbed them, put it into a cart, and just pushed the cart into a corner. He recorded himself doing all this, showed his face as he did it, and had enough time to edit, post it for his TikTok before he was arrested, and then took down that TikTok, because it would have been used as evidence, but people have already saved his TikTok and are posting it around. And you want to know something? He only came back to get rid of the food because of the backlash he got for his TikTok. If he didn't get backlash for it, he wouldn't have removed the food that he sprayed. So it was right after he posted the video, you had people in the comments actually telling him to get rid of the stuff that he sprayed down because it could actually kill someone, or if someone eats it, at the very least, it will get them very sick. And I think at that point, he realized the severity of his actions, not as a responsibility thing, but as a consequence thing. Because if someone actually eats any of those products, he will be blamed for it and he will go to prison for it. And that's what's happening now. Because after he did that, I think that's when he voluntarily went to the police station, thinking that if he puts himself in, he'll get a lighter sentence. Because he even admitted that he was spraying bug spray on the food and that it was theft. The police recognized him and they called him, and that's when he, voluntarily went to the station to turn himself in. So now he's facing 4 crimes that could leave him in prison for the next 20-something years. The 4 that he's being charged with is introducing poison, criminal damages, endangerment, and theft. Everything is a misdemeanor except for introducing poison, which is a class 6 felony in Arizona, which is still a felony, but it's the lowest level of a felony. And for introducing poison, there's been a few punishments for this crime. Some people have faced up to 5 to 20 years in prison. A guy was sentenced to 10 years of probation, and someone else was sentenced to 51 months in prison, followed by 3 years supervised release with mental health services. But I think the base punishment for this is 6 months to 6 years. But since he has priors, the thing might, double up to a decade or even more. For criminal damages, I've seen some of the articles, and they said that he did about $931 worth of damages in the Walmart, which means that it's a class 1 misdemeanor, with the maximum sentence of that being around 6 months in jail. For his endangerment, since it's also a misdemeanor, it's, maximum thing is 6 months in jail, but, there's also other penalties that come with endangerment, which means that he can either get a fine of $2,500, victim restitution if someone actually did get poisoned, or probation for up to 3 years. And theft, since the only thing he stole was, I think, the bug spray, it's a class 1 misdemeanor. Maximum punishment for that is 6 months. So, with the maximum sentence for the 4 things that he got charged with, he could be in prison for the next 21 years and 6 months. If, he's found convicted, fully maxed on everything. But with everything coming to light and him self-reporting himself for months, he might get charged for his other crimes that he's done on camera. Because almost all his videos, he records his face and then commits a crime. So whoever has him as his lawyer, it's, probably gonna kill himself. Because how is he gonna defend that? You have the guy you're representing actually recording his face before he commits a crime. How are you even gonna defend that? Some people are saying that he might get hit with a 5th charge, saying that what he did is potentially bioterrorism. But to me, this one might not be it. I may be wrong, but how are you gonna call, spraying bug spray in a grand worth of groceries, bioterrorism? Because when I think of bioterrorism, I think of Infamous Second Son, or I think of someone actually destroying an entire farm using chemicals to actually harm people, that leads to, upwards to $50,000 to $100,000 worth of damages meant to actually harm someone or multiple people, not, stuff in a grocery store. If he bug sprayed the entire Walmart, then I feel like that would be bioterrorism. But he also might get hit with it because all of this happened in Arizona, specifically in the Mesa area. But the city of Phoenix says that a bioterrorism attack is the deliberate release of a virus, bacteria, or other germs, agents used to cause illness or death in people, animals, or plants. He sprayed bug spray on food, meaning that he recorded a deliberate attack or release of viruses or bacteria that can cause people illness and death. So by definition, he recorded himself, doing bioterrorism, allegedly. So how the 4 main crimes, fit in, how he's being charged is, I'm guessing, like this. So the introducing poison is him spraying all the food. The criminal damages is that now nobody can eat that food because the bug spray is going to linger around. Because apparently with bug spray, it lingers around to where that bug spray can stay there for maybe days, a week, maybe even 2 weeks, to where they can't place any food there. Endangerment because anyone could have eaten that now, tampered food. And theft because he used, the bug spray that he didn't pay for. But before this entire thing happened, I was actually, starting to get his TikToks on my For You page, before the entire thing happened. And when I first saw his TikToks, I thought this guy was completely insane. The first ever video that I saw him was him throwing ice in a deep fryer in a random fast food place. But now since his whole entire account's banned, I can't show you the stuff that he posted, but I can talk about the ones that I remember. And from what I've seen, he likes to throw stuff in deep fryers, toilets, lock people in stores, and throw cakes at people. He threw an entire dead pigeon in a deep fryer, threw a pumpkin in a deep fryer, threw a watermelon in a toilet. One of the things that he does a lot is actually just throw cake at people at the mall from the 2nd floor. I've seen 4 to 5 videos of him just straight throwing cakes at people. But I think he, purposely aims near the floor so that it makes a splash effect on their clothes. Because I think if he actually hits any of them with a cake, it's assault or battery. Speaking of assault, he sprayed multiple people with a fire extinguisher multiple times. And people are saying that him doing it is actually classified as assault or battery. Not sure which one, but, could be both. So with all the cake stuff that he does, I think he aims to actually, just straight ruin their clothes and just scare them. Because if I was at the mall, just chilling, and I got my clothes dirty by a random cake being thrown from a 2nd story, random cake coming from the sky and almost hitting me, I would be shocked and confused. Because how many issues do you have to have for you, to just throw a cake at a random guy? And also, willing to throw 1 cake at you, what are the chances that they're going to throw a 2nd cake at you? And I'm not going to stick around to find out. He locked people in stores multiple times, as in he puts a padlock or a bungee cord on the door so people can't leave. He threw raw meat and eggs in a washing machine that someone was using, as in he went to a laundromat, saw someone put their clothes in a washer, he stopped the cycle, threw in eggs and bacon in this guy's machine with his clothes, started the cycle back up, and did this without the guy knowing that he did this to his clothes. This guy is actually just trying to live his life. And you just ruined his clothes, waste his time and money, because now he has to do an entire new load of laundry to clean the damages that you did to him, which, potentially could mean that he did destruction of property. So with everything going on, he went to court on December 28th, because the whole thing happened on December 21st. So that means he was in holding for, I think, about a week. Part of his release condition, if he's out on bail, is that he cannot use social media. And he can't go to any Bosa donut shops anymore. Originally, I thought it was because he did a lot of stuff at the donut shop, probably traumatizing these employees at the donut shop to where, that's why he can't go anywhere near them. I feel like most of the stuff that he's done with the deep fryers and everything is he went specifically to a Bosa donut shop to do all this. But it turns out he actually burglarized a Bosa donut shop. He also, for some reason, told officers that he's just a troller who makes 6 to 10 grand a month from his videos. I don't know why he's talking about how much he made to the cops, other than, just trying to flex on them or tell them that, the guy who poisons people makes more money than them. I'm not sure if it's just like a flex thing, a confidence thing, or something else, but the guy's insane. But what even is a troller in real life anyways? A troller is really just, a menace to society. This guy's just a menace. He's essentially just Johnny Somali without the racism, which means that this guy is just a menace to society. This guy is just the definition of what a waste of space is in a society. And now here's a little bit of background, from what happened, from these articles. The Walmart that he did this at made a statement saying that all the products that were involved in the incident were removed from the store and the area has been thoroughly cleaned. Then the police department says what happens when social media goes too far. This incident underlines the potential dangers of reckless action disguised as a social media prank. And now really, this entire thing is just up to the judge on how he wants to handle, everything that's going to happen in the future. If he gives Wolfie, a tough sentence, I feel like people will be less likely to do this entire thing because people don't want to do a long-term prison sentence. But if he goes easy, maybe 2 to 3 years, people will continue to do this thinking that, if anything happens, I'm only going to do 2 years. Also, what kind of prank even is this? This guy went to a store, poisoned $1,000 worth of food, and then just left. How is that a prank? Originally, when I heard about the poisoning, this is the video that I saw. So I thought, he sprayed everything, but then he put everything in the cart. But it turns out he sprayed everything, posted, and then, released the video. And that's when he got so much backlash for it. He then made a new video showing that he put everything he sprayed in the cart. Apparently, he only came back 10 minutes after his first video was posted because of the backlash. As in, he sprayed all the food in the store, left, and then came back 10 minutes later. Which doesn't mean that there's a good chance that, some people actually took the contaminated food. Because he sprayed it at giant piles of apples, avocados, tomatoes, bananas, everything. And there are some pretty common foods there that people would actually grab. So there's a good chance that multiple people could have grabbed the, contaminated food. Because these articles are saying that it's unclear if they managed to receive or retrieve everything that was contaminated. And this was said by the police department. And Walmart told the authorities that they had to get rid of $931 of products. Even with the police report, it says that it should be noted that the time between the defendant spraying these items to when he placed them in the cart left plenty of times for customers to take the contaminated items to purchase them. Apparently, he was identified as a suspect due to a prior police contact to where, he had an open case against them with the Tempe police because he had an active warrant for failure to appear. And I think, that's why he went voluntarily to the police station. Not because of guilt, but because, it would probably lead to him, having more issues down the line. He probably held back these workers for another 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours to clean and sanitize everything. Because he did this, so I think close to 9 p.m., right? I'm not sure when he voluntarily left. But it was either that they found out the night that he did it before closing, these workers had to stay in an extra 4 hours to clean and sanitize everything, or they didn't find out until the next day. So I'm guessing Walmart had to close off an entire section to clean, sanitize everything. So you probably had half the people working on sanitizing the entire thing, and then half the people actually, doing the regular stuff because, they're in opening hours. And just to say this again, he only went back to get the stuff because of the online backlash on his video. So after he tried to make money poisoning people, he made a second video to try to make more money to show that he got rid of the stuff that he used to potentially poison people. That's what the police report said, saying that if he didn't get any backlash on his video, he would have left that Walmart without grabbing any of the contaminated stuff, possibly leaving behind so many sick and ill people because of his actions just to make money. This guy actually put people's well-beings in harm's way to make money. And it took internet backlash for him to not poison people. Not the fear of potentially killing someone or going to jail, but internet backlash because of this is how he makes his money. And apparently, he had a court hearing on the 30th, which was a Monday, but I haven't seen anything about it. So if the court decides to explore all his other crimes, he has those 4 main crimes: assault, battery, bioterrorism, and damages to property. I hope this guy gets hit with a 20+ year sentence for his crimes. Because he literally put people in harm's way because of money. So that's about it. If you liked and sub, if you sub, you make another video.